as you walk upon Mother Earth, with your energies cleared and your intentions are set. You have a strength and clarity carrying you through. This is important work for the human, to be practiced as often as is possible or feasible without guilt or judgment, with only knowing it is a tool within the toolbox that is the relationship between that which you are and that which we are. We glory in this communication as we interact with a familiar way with all of you at this time. What we would indeed invite you to become more cognizant of is that the communication is always happening in one way or another. It is up to you all on your journeys to develop the ability to hear, allowing each their strengths as they will unfold. Some having the ability to speak and some having the ability to hear within their minds, hear even outside of their body. That is indeed a possibility for some. But also, dear ones, do not see one kind of communication as in any way better or a the word like delineation of better or worse or whatever. Do not see it as that. If one is able to speak the words and one is getting the nudges and the impulses and following the breadcrumbs in a deliberate way, there is no difference in that communication. Your teams will use whatever manner that you are in the frequency of allowing. Many of you do indeed have stories of the signs and the serendipities that unfold within your lifetimes. That is indeed also communication. We just pointed this out at this time as so many of you are excited and have filled with anticipation at the idea that perhaps you will be able to have a more deliberate and more easily accessed relationship with that which is us. For all of you have your own team, of course, but again, it is indeed all one. So know that when the energy comes through, if it is falling upon your ear, it is, for just a second. It is indeed intended for you. So it is a splitting of hairs when one thinks, is it my guides or someone else's team and such? That does not serve your purpose at this point, because we are indeed all one.
I have a question, and it might be a quick or a long one. Do you know how Pat Longo says, even if you just take 20 seconds to do those 3 steps, So I was wondering if you had an opinion or your guides had an opinion about if you don't get time to do the full, because I find it super valuable, the energy from the 6 steps. It's very tangible to me. But is it also effective if you just set the intention and go through those 6 steps in your head, if, say, you're at a space that you can't make time to do it?
I believe 100% it's valuable. I do that all the time.
Oh, okay.
You know, I just spent 2 nights with my girlfriend. We didn't spend any big amount of time meditating, but there was a conversation we were going to have that I knew was going to take all of my skill. And so I just, in the bedroom before I came out, in my mind, I literally surround, ground, shield, zip it up, balance, cleanse, call back, whoosh, set my intention. And just about that, that's what I did. And I do believe it's powerful. Now, do I think, see, you guys, we have communication from them all the time. When I did that, I took a breath and I was like, yeah, okay, ready for action. And I went and I did my thing. But if I were to have had a distressing day, or if I was, we all live with all this crap. We know the stuff that we all deal with a lot. If you have that and you do that, you try to do that and you're like, oh, geez, it's better than nothing if you don't have time for anything else. Absolutely, it's better than nothing. But as soon as you can, make that time. And it might be one step or the other. When you guys listen, oh no, I don't have the ability. Because we don't sign up for this, I don't have a group to email it out. But I'm sure I'll put the meditation on the YouTube channel. But I noticed when I was going through it, how much time they spent today on balancing. Sometimes they spend more time because, okay, so I understand that I'm getting, give me just a minute, I'm scared. You all have guidance. You can feel when you're toning. I invite you to practice as you're toning. You start to think in your mind, okay, what's the next tone of the next one up? And the way it works for me is it's like I get, not yet. I just feel like, no, needs a little bit more. So I'll take another breath and I do another one of whatever I'm on. And then I start to think of it and I take that breath and I just do the next one. Let yourself be led and honor that is communication from your team. That is communication from your team. I feel like I need to stay in the heart center. Oh my God, it feels so good. I just want to tone that heart. I just want to tone that heart. You tone it until you feel like it's time to move on. And it's okay to just say, okay, I'm going to do 3 each. Nothing wrong with that. There's no judgments in that at all. Did I get off track or did I answer that? So, okay, to boil down the answer, absolutely anything is better than nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Enter into a situation and you're starting to feel like, oh, shit's going to start happening. In my head, I am solidifying and strengthening my bubble with my intention. It's like, oh, you ain't giving me your shit. I'm not taking it. Because I can be compassionate without taking on their energy. This is the miracle of this time in my life. I've lived my life being an empath, and if I was near anybody that was unhappy, I walked away from them with that unhappiness in my energy field and didn't know what to do about it. Had no tools to do anything with it. And now I can be compassionate. I can listen to someone's problems. I can shine my love and my light on them. And then I can truly, and I hope you guys don't take this wrong, but I can walk back into my life and let it be, knowing that I did do everything I can do. I gave of my energy. When we think of our bubble and stuff, guys, we can send energy out. It's just that, and energy, oh, they just dropped this in. Energy can come in if it's for your highest intention.
Mm.
We can absorb that loving energy. We can turn our face up and get that connection, and that, we can get the energy, but we're setting with our intention. We are saying only love and light, only what is for my highest good. So when a moody something from my son perhaps comes flying in my direction, I see it like a rock bouncing off. It just bounces off. I can be compassionate, or I can be firm, I can be whatever I need to be, but I don't have to feel that energy, which is absolutely awesome.
Hi, Kelly. A couple of quick questions about the hand gestures that you do. I know they're organic for you. They're spontaneous. Well, I noticed some people on the Zoom that they also have the hand gestures. I'm wondering if those are organic or if they're deliberate. Like I'm not compelled to do the hand gestures unless I deliberately. Is that important? And how does that work? And also the breath. I noticed that you breathe a lot through your mouth and out of your mouth. And for some reason, I was thinking it was supposed to be in the nose and out of the nose, or does it matter?
I think that there are intentions behind when you get led in a meditation to breathe in through the nose and out and put your tongue on the roof of your mouth. Those are all, there are things, I believe that in through the nose and out through the mouth, I believe, maybe somebody that's more meditation knowledgeable than me can answer this, but I think that is like a physical thing that helps to trigger the brain waves to slow down. I'm not trying to slow the brain waves down. I'm connecting to the energy. So that, for me, I guess it's a little bit different. I breathe however my body breathes. I am, so I do know that when I do it's like there's a power to that I feel. And it's like almost like the hotter I blow, the better it is. That's kind of what I think. I'm going to give you my perception, and if anybody would like to chime in with an answer to hand gestures, I'll welcome you. But what I'm going to say to you about hand gestures is what I think is like should be the subtitle of our group, or part of our mission statement. Learn to follow your guidance. Surrender to it. Surrender your hands, and just with your intention say, if my hand movements can in any way facilitate the movement of this energy, let it move. Let them just be free. And feel as I'm talking right now, Michelle, my friggin' palms are and my chin is starting to go, and I can feel the vibration. It's like I'm scooping the energy up and I'm moving it around. That's the only way I can describe. But do I think that that's necessary? No. Feel your own self. Do you get awkward feeling, wagging your hands around? Then that's not helping anything. That's not doing any good. So yes, please do.
So I'm not an expert, but it reminds me of Tai Chi. And that is like such good, when you're doing that movement, you're moving in energy. And that's just my take on it. And that, or Qigong, if you ever watch that, it's just that moving energy in and out and in just a natural way. That's just how I perceive it.
I think that's exactly right. And I do think it facilitates it if you can surrender to it. I would also tell you guys that, like, my guides have told me, because there are people who cannot hear. So when you watch the hands that are not being controlled by Kelly, they are responding to the energy that is coming through. And it is, like you said, it is completely organic. If you can't hear me, but you can just see that, there are frequencies coming through these hands too. And they've told me that more than once, that the hand gestures that because there are people whose light language is only hand gestures. And if those of you who've been with me a while, you know that there are times when my hands will do some pretty wild stuff. Like there was one time when it was like this strange thing right at my heart. Today I felt my hands doing, they gave me this thing about to my forehead into my heart, and then flipping it and putting it down into so that my hands are pointing to basically to my root chakra. And then they rotate up at my heart, to my head, to my heart, and down. And that you can, this is actually in my second book. I've never practiced a lot of it, but they did say that it would facilitate connection to breathe, let the natural rhythm of the breath go with those movements. Just let your, like, or as fast, as slow, try it. See what it feels like. See if you feel a connection or a change in your energy. That's how I've learned all of this stuff. When I started the toning, I tried to frig with the piano. Well, that didn't do a hell of a lot. Then I happened onto those vowel sounds. And when I did the vowel sounds, I'm like, oh, okay, I could feel it when I belted out that tone. And then and this is how you do it, guys. You feel your energy, feel the energy of your body, and then you tone. Ooh. My feet are vibrating more. My hands are vibrating more. I can feel it. That's my experience, but everybody can figure that stuff out for themselves. So did I answer both of your questions, sweetheart? Okay, awesome. Thank you, darling. Next.
I'm still not sure if I get all the tones right with the chakras, because I remember that you explained once for the base chakra is, no, not for the base, under the base chakra is Angel Michael.
Mhm.
Above the seventh chakra is Angel Ariel.
These
tones are
the
last three
combination.
tones.
So when I toned, I got to get it in my head. So I leave the heart out, and this is just it. This was developed between me and my guides organically. It's what felt the best. Okay, the heart I leave for last. I tone it on the way through. Then I tone I, A, E for Angel Ariel. I, A, E, or it can be E, I, A, however you surrender it to it. I, E, O, I, A. You just surrender and you let that energy carry. And it is the way I feel about it. It's like, it's my homage to Angel Ariel. And then when I do the oh, ooh, and whatever, that's the bottom three. I do them in whatever order, however long I feel it. I just do it the way it comes through. There's no rhyme or reason to it, but I do the bottom three for Angel Michael. And then I end, and in my mind, and I do feel that this is powerful, when I end, I'm in my heart chakra, seeing in a 3D model, okay, going in all directions. And if you're visual, you can do this. If not, it's just the sound. When I tone the green carries in both directions, and it's going out in all directions. It's like we're turning into this ginormous ball of energy that the rings are getting bigger and bigger as they go away from us, as we it's going under my feet to Mother Earth, over my head to the angels. It's moving the energy. It's creating that beautiful flow, Did you have anything else?
Yes, can you repeat for me then the first, the second, the third, the fifth, the sixth, and the seventh chakra tone?
I'm gonna do it quick because it's out, it's on
Yep.
the Facebook page. Starting from the bottom up, I'm just gonna do them. From the bottom up, it's cup. You go RIAE.
So this kind of, and this is maybe too personal, but I just wonder, like, when you're in their energy and you're connecting with them, don't you just want to stay in that and, and not go back into reality? I mean, is it a hard transition? Because it's such a beautiful realm. And I feel like if I had your gift, I would want to just stay in that as much as I can and not be in reality as much. I mean, not saying that reality is bad and we're all here, we plan on being here, but when you get a taste of their energy and it's so beautiful, I think I would be trying just to be in that as much as I can.
Okay, that is a wonderful question. And there's a bunch of answers. And one of the answers is we are in that energy all the time. We're in that energy anytime. Anytime you feel love, you are blended with your guides. When you feel joy, when you feel wonder, you are blended. That's what it is, that feeling of, everyone says, what does it feel like? That's what it feels like. It's that looking at that sunset with your hand in the hand of somebody that you love and feeling that connection and that awesomeness. That's what that connectedness feels like. So that said, I will also say that exactly what you have asked has been a huge part of my journey and it was from fear, because I was afraid that it would be so wonderful that I wouldn't want to come back. And I record all of my stuff, and I recommend to all of you who are on this journey, my Monday night people, I'll say this to them too. Record and write down stuff as you experience it so that you can go back, because you might humanly filter some stuff, but you're going to get a nugget and they're going to drop another nugget and another nugget. You're going to read a bunch of things in a row and you're going to be like, oh shit, they're telling me to blah, blah, blah. And then you have that epiphany. And so when I go back and listen to things like from the summer when light language hit, when that happened and my experiences got just so much more dramatic, I guess I'll use the word, earth shattering is another good one, wild and crazy comes to mind. When I would have these experiences and I would talk with my guides, I would say, I'm afraid. I would go into meditation and I would feel that drawing forth, which there's two different things that we're talking about. Blending with the all and going deep into an altered state of meditation. They're cousins, but they're not the same thing. When you're going deep into a meditation and your consciousness is getting farther and farther away from your humanness, that's an experience. That's what I'm kind of like on the brink of. The blending with my guides, you watch me, I can come in and out of that in a second. There's no any big anything to that. Well, what I'm trying to explain is that when I do meditate, which I wouldn't be able to do with you, it would be by myself with music and headphones, with a face thing on, with a darkened room, and going deep into an altered state. I was afraid that I wouldn't come back for exactly the reason that you said, Jerry. And that is when I channeled Mother Earth the first time. And when she came through, she said for me not to worry, but that I did need to work on my relationship with her my connection to her, my solidity with her. I never understood it. My God, you guys, we've all heard the word, you're not very grounded. It's like, well, what does that mean? I don't know what that means. What does it mean to not be grounded? I'm on the ground, I got feet. I mean, here I am. I didn't get it for a long, long, long time. And now I do. It's that cord from my heart to Mother Earth's heart that makes me feel that oneness. She told me that my relationship with that would always bring me back, because my intention is to live out my life. I want to live out my life. I want to watch my grandbabies grow. I want to grow old with Michael. I want to go fishing and ride my new snow sled and drink lots of cocktails. And I want to live, I want to live. So it is glorious, but so is life. And it has happened over time so that the underpinning was there, so I would have my clarity. Oh, did I answer that? I don't know if I did.
You did. It is very, very clear, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Is this. I struggle the same. You, on another talk, you talked about you were really into the prayer and praying to God, and that you were confused for a few years, and I completely identified with that, and I still think I'm in that state. And so I don't know, I say God, but sometimes it's the angel, sometimes it's the guide. I guess spirit doesn't care. But do you still pray, and should I be still praying and asking? There's a balance between like asking for something or just getting in the sandbox and just saying everything's going to work out. Everything's going to work out. So talk a little bit about that, if you would, please.
Okay, so let me get my mind wrapped clearly around it. Is it like it used to be? No, it's not like it used to be. I have a dialogue, but I always did. This was before I was a guide, before I had my ability to talk to the guides. I always, I was taught as a little kid about that whole incessant prayer thing, to have a prayerful heart, which means I'm in my mind thanking. A lot of the chatter in my mind is thanking God for, thank you that I'm healthy. Thank you for this beautiful this. Thank you for that. I have a lot of appreciation prayer in my heart a lot of the time. And when it comes to, like, if you're thinking that you want something to happen, I don't pray for that anymore. I can create it. Ta-da! But, it's like, so this is where that prayerful, do I love and appreciate, and I know I'm supported, and do they interact with us, and do they bring serendipities, and so how do I create it, that I want? Perfect example is the sandbox method. So if I say, whatever, give me an idea of something you might be praying for. Don't go into too many details, just a little nugget.
That everything's going to work out with the delivery of the house, and there'll be no more accidents or incidents, and the weather will cooperate.
Okay, so that your house is going to come to fruition. So I just spend time really seeing the house. I see the beautiful sky. I see the weather. I picture myself calling my friend or my mother and saying, oh my God, it was like melted butter. The knife slid right through. I couldn't believe how easy everything happened. Feel the energy of that? That's the creative process. And you can also pray thankfully. You can pray with that intention. I am so appreciative that my house is going to arrive on time, and I know the day is going to be perfect. And I'm so excited because it's such a beautiful experience, and I'm enjoying every aspect of it, and I'm so grateful for it all. And I look forward to painting in the kitchen, and I look forward to hanging my pictures on the living room walls, and it's going to be wonderful. That's the energy that will create. But to go back to praying is that conversation with my angels, my guides, my mother in heaven, my my alien team. I feel them too. And I sometimes I'll just have a little conversation with them if I'm out under the stars, and I'll just be like, I'm just so thankful. I know you're there. I know that you're watching me. I know that you're giving me breadcrumbs. You're putting things in my path. That's how it's how the angels work. It's how, yeah. So, yeah, I hope that answered, Sweet Pea. And welcome aboard, darling. Welcome aboard. Real. This energy is real. We are absolutely tapping across dimensions, across realms. It is real. And I do believe that there are people, I know that there are, I've watched people on Alex's show. He had a psychologist that works a lot with people who have had, basically, it's like a spiritual break. Well, it's Jerry, it is what you were describing. It is people who get themselves to that place of nirvana and they don't choose to come back. So then the world is left with the, drooling whatever that they're going to have to take care of until the body dies, because the spirit doesn't want to come back. And so that's why I was afraid, and I still am. I still have issues. I haven't had that big out of body experience yet, because I get scared when it gets close. I get scared. Go ahead, Jerry.
Yeah, I just want to reiterate too with that. And the reason why I want to expand on that is because I did have that profound mystical experience when I was with a psychic many years ago, and I was in a different realm, and it was the most beautiful thing. It's like liquid love. I just melted, and and I don't want to say I want to go back to that, because it's like an NDE, and I love my life, but I want to really get in connection with that again. It was just like nothing mattered. And when I came back, I was just like, nothing. I just couldn't believe on this how dense our world is. And all I kept on saying, I ran home to my kids and said, nothing freaking matters. Nothing like we in this world is just like we overreact to everything. And when I was in, it was like God's presence. It was just beautiful. And it was very short time. And I just love it, so I just thought, gosh, if I could get into that, yes, I've totally blissed out, peaceful state, relaxed. I don't think, I don't want to say I don't want to go back, because I love my life, like I said, but I would be wanting to go all the time, like avoiding my friends. I need to connect. I need to connect. So it's fun.
But I want to just plant a seed. I want to plant a seed that we could almost, for fun, think about that the object of the game of life is to be able to be within the present moment, with that knowing, with that presence of God, that love, and bringing those together. That is kind of what it's all about. And that's what we're working towards. That is what we're working towards. You can think of it as that fifth dimension perspective. We all get glimpses of the fifth dimension perspective, that perspective of neutrality, when you just know that we're actors on a stage. The day's going to come when we're going to take the virtual reality headset off, and we're going to then see the truth. And all of what we're thinking and taking so seriously doesn't matter at all. It just simply doesn't matter. So that's the journey. It's beautiful. I do want to comment that I noticed in the chat that Pat said that he got to that place with like a near-death experience. And I want to share this because I want it to plant the seed with all of you. In one of my conversations just between me and my guides said to me that I was on a journey. Now, I haven't made it there yet. I was on a journey, and that what my goal was to be able to deliberately and intentionally, I called Fred all panicked and like, yeah, I can believe what the guide said today. That with our intention and with a practice, we would be able to have basically a near-death experience without almost dying. That we would be able to cross dimensions with our intention. And I mean, it kind of freaked me out, but I know that what they're working with me now is just what Jerry was speaking about, that fear. You have to, I want to do that. I want to have the experience with my ET family. I want to go to the ship. I want, I do. But like they say to me, you think you do, but you're not ready. When you're ready, you will. And that's as simple as that. If they know my heart. We get freaked out if we see truth. And if I'm going to go wake up in a craft that's going to have beings that don't look anything like humans, I probably am going to freak out. They know that about me. So I don't know. It's just an interesting, fun thing to think about, and I'm open to it. And we're all on a journey, and that's the best that we can do, really. And there's no judgment about it. Louis, go ahead.
Okay, I'm back. Just as quickly as you're able to have the channels speak to you or whatnot, are you able to astral project when you're sleeping?
No, I don't know how to astral project.
Okay.
Another
Have you
one,
set any intention to want to do that?
don't quite understand the difference. I have set an intention to experience in a physical way in my dreams. I've said to my guides, I'm open to that. I've listened to people who have had remarkable experiences in their dream state. I've opened to it.
Yeah.
That's about all I got.
Okay.
I think that confidence is a big factor with folks. And you've mentioned in your first part of your journey how you had a feeling of not worthy and all that.
Right.
And so I don't know what the answer is. Is it, is it because I'm not meditating, or is it because, and I'm not into this. I'm not saying this. I want you to fix me right this minute, because I think we're all have the same sort of journey here. So I think I speak for a lot of people, but it's like, we want to take a pill. We want to get fixed. Just get me there. And it seems like it came to you kind of easy. And I don't think I want to do what you do because I'm too fearful, but I certainly want more. I want more of something. It's like I'm chasing something on the spiritual journey, but God only knows what it is. So I don't know if it's not a question. It's just, I guess I wonder what it all means.
Mhm.
I don't
Well,
know. It's not a question.
it's pretty small. Well, it is actually, it is a question, but they call it a meditative practice, a spiritual practice, and it is. And in the same way that if you want to get good at anything in this world, you have to spend a little time doing it, because we're not born knowing all this stuff and remembering all this stuff. And I love that it looks like it happened fast for me. And there are parts of it that did happen fast. I will admit to that. But there were 4 or 5 years of meditating 2 and 3 hours at a time up to that we don't talk about very often. I meditated with a great deal of passion and intention, and I wanted to heal myself. I felt like shit, and I wanted to heal myself. So I was meditating, and then wasn't on a journey of this awakening. I didn't know that I was on a journey to feel better. And I kept feeling worse and worse, and feeling more and more disconnected from who I was, not knowing who I was. I just, my friend and I last night were having a wonderful cocktail and a conversation over a cocktail. And I said, I did not know who I was. I could not define what did I like, what did I enjoy. I knew who I was as Mike's wife, as the kid's mother, as a teacher, as a nurse, as a friend. I could do all those roles. I could put on the face, but nobody saw that inside a mess. I was sad. I was sad. And I just tried everything I knew how to do. And so I was doing the meditations, and now what I know looking back is because of giving all that great deal of time to meditation, they were trying to get my attention. They were whacking me. I got taps on my fingers and touches on my face and feelings on my arms. And now I know that they were speaking in my mind, but I'd get the nudge at the time. That's what I would say is I'd get an impulse. Well, I didn't get an impulse. My God said, open your eyes. And I'd open my eyes and I'd see a friggin' big mass of energy that moved, and I could stick my hand into it and all kinds of stuff. It was a friggin' journey, and it did take time. That said, my guides have told me that the toning is a doorway to this. That if people could practice the toning, when I brought through my angel team, they said to use the term tips, tricks, and hacks. And I said, I can't say that. It's going to sound too like I'm trying to be too cool or trendy or whatever. And I mean, I argue with them all the time. And they said, no, our world is ready for things to be quicker and easier because the frequency of the world is raising. And that's why you feel like you're missing something. That's why you're feeling a calling to something more and different. And it's going to be a decision you have to make. Just like with everything in our life, you want a nice house, you've got to work and fix your nice house. If you want to have a spiritual relationship, an active moment by moment relationship with your team and non-physical, you got to work on it. The guys have told me toning is a wonderful, wonderful gateway. So today, your first time here, Amy, you have been given the tools of the 6 things, which means you are acknowledging your own energy system. You are beginning to work with it. It isn't like a meditation. It's like getting in the shower and scrubbing your feet and scrubbing your arms and scrubbing your legs. You're working with your energy. And then you tone for a little while. If you want to, if it feels good, you tone. If you don't. But if you just stop practicing that energy routine, you're going to begin to feel the difference, and you're going to hear the call. And the call might be, you're not feeling okay. You're feeling you got all this great crap going on, but it isn't making you happy. That's the big way that they call you. So I hope that's helpful to you, sweetie. It's a journey. It is a daily journey. And it's our choice, and we can do it or not anytime we want to. Pat,
Thank you.
there might be a little more work for you to do in the deliberate managing of that frequency. In the same way, I was 2 years of doing all this work. Oh, what'd you jump to? I was 2 years of doing this work before I did any kind of protection stuff, any kind of really deliberate grounding and dealing, actually, like what we're talking about with the 6 steps, intentionally cleansing and working with my energy. Are you doing that with any kind of regularity?
I can't say that I am.
Right.
I
Well-
just I use it as prayer and worship and
but I'm
shift in my own energy.
Yeah. So the thing that if you are entertaining the idea of wanting to include someone in your energy field, which is what I'm doing right now, I'm bringing you all into my energy field and sharing a part of myself with you. You're wanting to do that for the betterment of others and also probably for your own personal growth.
Yes.
What
Yes.
they whispered back here to me, because it kind of stymied me a bit when you said it. They said, there is a need of you to have a more deliberate control of your own energy before you do that kind of thing. So basically what I think they're meaning is do an experiment. Take a week and each day you can do what we did today in 5 minutes. Do the surround, ground, shield, balance, cleanse, and call back. Do that for a week and then sit in one of your drunky, I do know what you mean by the drunky woo feeling, because you guys have, those of you who've been with me in a lot of these, there are times when I come out of the meditation and that's what I'm feeling like. I may not show it completely, but it's almost like I would have trouble getting up and walking because it's altered. You're altered. What does alcohol do? It alters you. Well, so does spirit, so does all this energy. So I would try that, sweetie, because I think it's important. And that's what I'm getting. I'm just feeling like it's important, and it's something for you to consider trying.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're
Appreciate it.
welcome. You're welcome. I had someone share with me recently that their response to when they connected with the energy, they would actually get almost physically ill and needing to vomit, that kind of thing, burping a lot. I've seen people on YouTube that burp. With particular energies, I will start to yawn. That's one of mine, and of course my shivering is one of my tells. And one of the things that I don't know if it will be this week or not, but we're going to talk about in our Monday class is, well, it will come into this Monday one because we're going to talk about our sovereignty. And on Monday night, we're going to go deep into our sovereignty, and that we have the way they're giving me the jaws starting to go, because I was feeling haughty about making such a strong statement, and I need to make the statement. And the statement is we are sovereign, and we do get to direct and define how this evolves for us. And we're going to talk about that on Monday night. So I think that'll help, maybe be helpful too. I don't know if you do Mondays or not, but. Well, my darlings, we're starting to sneak into cocktail hour. I think it's time for me to let you blessed beings go. I love you all.
Love you,
Definitely
Kelly. Thank
hope that
you.
thank you.
Thank
I
you
hope
so
I hope I see you on
Thanks. You're hilarious. Thank you very much. Thank you.
blessings, blessings.
Monday.
Love, love, love.
Love, love, love.
Love, love,
Bye.
love, 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 love.